Start?
Yeah, we will start.
Okay. So hi guys. Today I'm going to talk on branding, one of my most favorite topics. Something that I loved during my MBA classes when I was in college. So let's start. So first thing, once I got information that I had to do a presentation, the first thing I did was I Googled the word branding, and so within around 69 seconds, this is what I got. 0.69 of a microseconds is what I got. So the essence of branding, this definition is this: it's a marketing practice which involves name, symbols, designs, etc. And the reason for having all these names, symbols, and all is for identification and identifying from, distinguishing yourself from other companies. So we all know now there are a lot of companies around. When I say digital marketing, there are around 100 companies, more than 100 companies in India. So it is a way of distinguishing us from the others and other similar products. So one thing very interesting, what I did was I just clicked the Wikipedia link and I found a very interesting fact about branding. So it has a very beautiful history, branding. It starts in Egypt. So Egypt is around 3000 BC, before Christ. Even before Christ was born, I think man was greedy even before, I think when once man was formed, he was greedy. He started branding his cattle to differentiate it from others. And it also continued in Greece. Greece is around 200 to 300 BC before Christ. So the first image here that you see is that of a perfume vase, and this is a wine bottle. And much interestingly, we have both of these things even today. We still do brand our cattle, and we have long perfume bottles, and we still drink liquor from bottles that are head-shaped. I think branding has always been a part of us, and we will continuously doing branding. So branding is one of the most necessary evils that we have. So the brand triangle, the one thing that so I am going to talk to you about today. So triangle, I love triangles. Triangles basically is, according to me, is one of the strongest two-dimensional figures that you can ever build. So first thing I built was called the triangle of life. So it consists of the heart, body, and the mind. So every brand should also have a heart, body, and the mind. And these are the elements of a brand. So for the heart, it's the nominal. For the body, it is its utility value, and the mind is the creative value. So let's discuss about each vertical of this triangle. First, let's go to nominal. So nominal are things that make us recollect the brand. So recollect as in, for example, name of the brand, the logo that we give to a brand, taglines or catchphrase that are given to brand, and colors associated with the brand. There are a lot of other things also. For example, for McDonald's, the clown is something that always helps us recollect the brand. So a small example that I want to give would be our company, Reed Skyline itself. The name is Reed Skyline. This is the logo, and the tagline or catchphrase, embrace digital, hashtag embrace digital. And so once when I was making this slide, I checked this hashtag on all social media and also on Google. It really shows that we are a very strong brand, and digitally we are very good at it. So why all these things is recollection is a very important part for every brand. So when we started with saying the definition of branding, we saw that you need to identify yourself unique from other people. So recollection is one way of how you can do that. And recently what you do is you do patenting, you do trademarking, registration, and all these things help you do it in a legalized way in the business world. Next is the utility. So utility is the value the brand offers or the product offers. Utility, according to economics, is what you actually offer or the actual value that is perceived by the person. So it is by in form. When form is the state in what you are going to consume it. The time is whenever you need, are you able to get it? For example, right now we are in a lockdown, and right now not many brands are able to help us with their production because many products are stuck. So time right now for many brand is a big question mark. Places where it is available to purchase. For example, from a supermarket, a medical shop, the product or the brand is available. And then possession. Possession is a very important factor that brands should work on. You need to design your utility based on possession so that your brand does not only satisfy one particular example, one particular purpose, but it can also satisfy other purposes. I'll give you explain it with a small example. Instant noodles, one of the highest utility product that has been found and circulated into India. I'm sure most of you, when I said instant noodles, would have come up with a brand in your mind. And for 90s kid, I think it is going to be Maggi. So the form of Maggi is, when it is cooked form, and the time you always get it all throughout the year. I don't think, except for the Corona season, we are getting it now. Place. It is available in all Kirana stores and hypermarkets. Possession, you can have it cooked, uncooked, own recipes, various cooking methods. I remember making Maggi in our hostel in kettles. So it is a very high utility product. So that is why we are all so much in affinity with this product, instant noodles. And next is the creative part of the brand. So the creative part of the brand gives the power of attraction to the brand. So creativity has, as we all know, no limits. So when you say a creative brand, I'm sure you're all going to come up with one of the most creative brands and the creative personalities of the 21st century, Mr. Steve Jobs. I don't think I need to talk to you about his products. No one else can ever talk better about his product than himself. I'm sure from the small Mac that he developed, and right now till Apple's developing the AirPods that they are developing, everything are some of very creative products. So we've got this triangle, the nominal, utility, creative, all these three verticals. What do we get out of this after deciding for one particular brand we have worked on its nominal, utility, and creative? We get something called a brand positioning. Brand positioning is a very important concept. So what is brand positioning is the place the brand occupies in our mind and makes it unique is called the brand positioning. So I'll share a small video about it. Just take a look at it. So, how many of you, I'm sure all of us would have seen this ad before if we are in India. How many of you guys hummed this song, Kiss Me, Miss Me? So, that is the power of positioning of the brand. So, how this product, Dairy Milk Silk, has positioned itself is, it is no longer a chocolate in our mind. It is the love chocolate. Before this Dairy Milk, I'm sure all of us, maybe in school or in college, we would have given our boyfriends or girlfriends Dairy Milk chocolate to, propose or to say that we love them. Previously, actually, it was roses and love letters that was doing it before the Kiss Me, Miss Me ad. Right now, it has taken the perception that it has given us. It is as equal to a rose. You can share love through this chocolate. It is actually not a chocolate anymore. So this concept is called pushing. And when you're going to work with really strong with all the three pillars of your brand triangle, your positioning is going to work very good with your targeted customers. So for Dairy Milk, the targeted customers are very young people who are in schools and colleges who are very new to relationships. So next thing, why this advertisement goes into TV post positioning. The reason for brands to promote it is to increase the brand equity. So again, brand equity is another term that I learned during my MBA. So what is brand equity? So again, I asked Google what brand equity is. So this is what Google says. So from my derivation, it's the commercial value for the brand derived from its triangle. So what does brand equity gives you is a higher level of awareness for the brand. For example, when you think of chocolate, you go into Dairy Milk. Brand recall rate, brand advocacy. Brand advocacy is, so when I'm going to go tell my friend, Macha, I want to go propose to this girl. So he's going to say, come on, go give this chocolate to her. So that is called brand advocacy. Without even knowing anything, he relates it, and he also asks me to buy this product and give it to buy the product. So competent over competition. So I don't think any chocolate is as powerful and can be sold at such higher price as the Cadbury Silk. Customer lifetime value has increased. So I was in school, I think 12 years back. So I would have given my chocolate 12 or 13 years back, and people are still giving chocolates to their girlfriends. So that is the lifetime value increase of Cadbury Nestle. So the world's best branding example today is one of the tiniest, smallest of things. I'm sure you'd have all guessed what it is, and I would love to share some information of its brand triangle. Now, it is the coronavirus. It has become one of the strongest brand in the entire world. The reason is fear is the strongest communication a brand can use, but only next to love. So let's go into the pyramid. So nominal, we all know name, coronavirus, COVID-19, logo, and taglines that are given to it, color. So it is a highly well-branded awareness campaign that is happening all over the world for corona. The utility, the form is a virus form. Time, I don't think you want it. And most places all over the world, it is there, and there are also some special hotspots. You can go there to get it. Position, so the various forms of corona, you can get a fever, you can get a cough, sore throat, headache, dehydration, shortness of breath, and the actual consumption is death. The creative part of this brand is the masks, hand sanitizers, hand wash soaps. So all these things before corona, we were not used to it, we were not practicing it in our day-to-day life. So all these things have recently come into our lives to bring this brand into our mind and make it recollect more and more, and also accept it as a new adaptive product into our life. So what happens positioning? We have positioned it not as a virus anymore. It is an issue of hygiene. So basically what this positioning strategy has made us think bad of migrant workers, cause Islamophobia. I would say why think bad of migrant workers is, so when you buy Apple phone, you tend to buy Apple AirPods, and you start looking at people who do not have AirPods as lesser valued people. It is the similar way. Now these migrant workers are not able to purchase all these hand sanitizers, soaps, unable to practice social distancing. They are not unable to, they are not in a situation to do all these things. Islamophobia is something that is happening in India. Even a cough has become a very bad sign even inside a house. Untouchability is slowly coming back. We are slowly losing humanity. So questioning it as fear, so eventually spreading hatred is the problem. So the marketing strategy used, spreading fear of death. If Corona was a company, all the national leaders and world health leaders are its brand ambassadors. Fear of death actually spreads very fast. All throughout history, we have seen it with various products, various brands, and various industries. For example, cigarettes. Cigarettes is available everywhere, all over the globe. Religion uses something very similar. Terrorism and dictatorship. Healthcare industry, you don't go to the doctor, you die. You don't take a medicine, you may die. pharma companies, insurance companies. So one thing, let us not spread hate, let us only spread love. So I'm sure we are all aware this branding strategy and marketing strategy has helped coronavirus very well. So we are all right now in the awareness phase. Let us all stay home, spread love, help the needy, donate directly, care for the elderly. And one thing is very important, do not fear. And right now there is no vaccine, and the only vaccine and the only medicine that is for corona is love. So I'm really sorry for this crappy presentation. I'm more of an interactive person, so let's get into interaction. I think I would have completed this within 10-20 minutes, so we'll have another 15 odd minutes for interactions. So I can keep this, I can share you the screen whenever you want. If you have any doubts, anybody can ask. I'm going to mute my mic now, so yeah.
Ram, thank you so much for the presentation. I think even though you said it was a crappy presentation, I think it was very interactive. At the same time, because you had a lot of interactive ways to communicate the entire message relating it with coronavirus. So, guys, if you have any questions that you want to ask in terms of branding, Ram is open to answering right now. So, I just give the mic to you so that you can put up your answers, questions to Ram.
Hi, sir. I'm Praveen. I just like to ask some question. It's like if we are new to a company or new era for an this decade means we just want to work for 5 years or 10 years to know our brand to the people. Actually, if we are if any of the people means shopping means we just want to know if they are taking some other clothes means the brand recognition must be come to their mind. What are the activities we just want to do to come to their mind while they are purchasing any item or some other service if they opted?
So basically, what you want to do understand is brand recollection. So brand recollection is a very a strong thing that all brands try to work on. There is a concept that Fair and Lovely has been working for a very long time. We can see Fair and Lovely everywhere, in newspapers, in bus stand posts, in TVs, in bus stand, everywhere. So the brand recollection rate of Fair and Lovely has become where people in the bottom of the pyramid, that is people who are on their day-to-day wages, do try Fair and Lovely. That is the amount of brand awareness and brand recollection that it brings. And you can also take, for another example, is Maggi noodles. I think most of the people today in the meeting would have thought when I put the instant noodles, you came up with Maggi. So all this brand recollection mainly comes from the marketing efforts that the company puts. Not just the marketing efforts, the regular marketing efforts and the consistent marketing efforts that the company puts. And the utility value that the product gives. One more example is the people also helps in the recollection of the brand. For example, Microsoft. Bill Gates helped us recollect the brand. So Bill Gates usually comes to all the countries wherever his product is being launched, just to visit the country's national leaders. Steve Jobs does the same. So this way they help in recollecting the brand. So it does not require 5 years or 10 years. It just requires how well you work in the pyramid. The pyramid can help you do it very fast. You see, when you said it takes 5 years in a company, 10 years in a company, certain people just jump up in the ladder in the companies within 1 year or 2 years. Nobody knows how. It's because they brand themselves very well. They work on their own pyramid very. Basically, we are all small brands in our small worlds. So, I think I have answered your question, did I?
So, yeah.
Okay, Ram, I have a question. So I think right about now we know that coronavirus is going to be the biggest campaign that the world has ever seen after the launch of media and the internet per se. So even with government regulations telling you to stay home and literally like every single one of your social media feed is talking about stay home, stay safe, stay hygienic, and there is like a quite bit of population that does not care about what the governments or the awareness campaign is saying. So this shows that how a brand is very a brand has to try so much to get them to do something. So it's actually not branding or marketing is not just easy. Even with force and fear of death, there are going to be people who won't give a damn about what you are trying to say. So how do you see that as a company which is trying so hard to brand in a day to day?
So first thing is Corona is a successful campaign, but segmenting, targeting, it has segmented it properly, it has targeted properly. So when you say some people who are not staying inside their home, it is not based on their will, as I said. It is because of their incapability, their financial incapability, or their infrastructural incapability. It is happening for my knowledge. And a very small minority of the people who are early adopters who like to go out are doing it. The very fast and the bell curve are doing it. Other than that, I think the corona awareness as a campaign has gone in very deep, as it is a global phenomenon. Now, for brands, why is it very hard? Right now, there is a lot of noise in the market, a lot of noise in all media. Even during this lockdown, for the first 5 to 6 first week, nobody had a clear idea of what the coronavirus is, or what is happening, which media is true, which country is telling the correct news, which procedure is correct, which methodology is correct. So there was just noise everywhere, people shouting, media guys shouting. And only reason for the past 1 week, I'm seeing everybody is okay. This is what is happening. People are starting to count numbers, get data. So why is it very hard is the noise and the creativity. So Corona did not require a lot of creativity because it had death. But creativity does play a very important role, and innovation also does play a very important role when it comes to branding and reaching out to a lot of people and making them do what the brand wants to do. Basically, marketing is a form of education. So it is how well you educate and let people do it. And it should also happen through the peers. Peers make marketing a very successful. So word of mouth and peer pressure makes things happen faster. It is how many people you can touch and make them advocate outside. So that is the amount of value that you should add as a brand. So it only comes to creativity.
Okay, cool, Ram. Thank you. That was like a very clear explanation. Do any one of you have any more questions to shoot to Ram?
Yeah, I have one question.
Yeah.
Ram, when it is come to the branding, which is the most important, brand equity or the brand affinity?
Brand equity or the brand affinity? So,
yes.
I would say, how are you differentiating both brand equity and brand affinity? I would just like to know.
Brand equity, it's about the logos, tagline, some jingles, and sonic branding.
Okay.
I'll consider this as a brand equity. When it is come to brand affinity, it is actually what to say. I mean, the emotional connection. If I had purchased a product from no.
Okay, sorry.
No, you can just go ahead, no?
No, sorry. You carry on. Sorry,
Affinity in the sense, it is a past experience or some personal experience towards the product or a services.
Yeah, I'll just fine tune the question for you, Ram. So what he's trying to say is, so the brand equity is what like the brand will have in terms of like a physical touch point, or like some visual effects that the brand is determined by, like the McDonald's logo, the color and everything. But the brand equity is something that the brand makes you feel like, like you feel safe when you drive a Volvo car, or the emotional connect that the brand has with the product or the brand. So she's trying to ask, what is more important, the equity or the, are you asking for the importance, or like which is the first preference, Shobana?
Or which is the first preference?
Yeah.
So the definition of brand equity that I gave was beyond Google is it included brand affinity into it. So it actually included the positioning of the brand. So brand equity, so brand affinity is part of brand equity. So it is directly proportional. I would not say which is better or which is good. So the higher the brand affinity, higher the brand equity, and higher the brand equity, higher the brand affinity. So there is no way saying this is better or that is better. For a brand, it requires a good brand with a good affinity has a good brand equity in the market.
Okay.
So perception-wise, let's take an example is Volvo, like as Raju said. So Volvo actually has a very good brand equity value because people know it is safe to drive. That is the affinity that they have. If I drive, I am safe. So that actually gives a higher edge for it against its competition to increase its price. People do not change brands once they get an Volvo. So all these things are there because of its brand affinity. So it directly influences its brand. It's directly proportional. It's not which is better. Both of them are directly proportional and goes hand in hand with each other.
Okay.
Okay, Shuna, thank you for the question. We have exactly 8 more minutes. We can take 2 questions for the meeting. Anybody else want to shoot a question to Ram on branding? Okay, I think we are out of questions for today. So Ram, thank you so much for the meeting and the presentation and the interactive session that you just gave. And I think this is the biggest interactive session we had so far, I think, because every presentation takes around 35 to 40 minutes since we end the meeting, like at the end of the presentation. So this was really good. And one last time, do any of you have any questions on branding? Okay, cool. Okay, Ram, thank you so much for the meet, and we'll come again and we'll have another session with someone else speaking on another topic. Thank you so much, guys. We'll end this meeting. Thank you again. Bye.
So I just wanted to talk, so I totally forgot. So we have 6 more minutes. So when I share this link with a lot of people on my WhatsApp broadcast list, something new occurred to me. So all this time it was okay, I'll attend the meeting. But today, all of a sudden, people were very reluctant to attend because of this Zoom issue. So again, Zoom works. What do you say? The competitors of Zoom, I do not know what, but the kind of way it has put is fear. So it is not safe. It is unsafe. There are privacy issues and all these things. I'm not sure why, but the rate of speed that message has spread is very fast. So do not spread those kind of messages when it comes to Corona. Let's just share love and take care. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. You supported Zoom at the end of the call. Thank you so much.